Just saying. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
But you can. Anyway, so this past week we saw the release of the Stormblood release trailer, and boy, did this spark a lot of discussion.
Stormblood.
Anyway, so we're gonna watch it on the stream. We're gonna share it with you guys here. If you haven't seen it, it does contain some degree of spoilers. We assume we can.
I mean, I'm assuming that if any of it is spoiler territory, it's not what you think it is. That's what I'm going with here.
Well, a lot of
There's
people.
no way they would actually spoil the story flat out.
A lot of people have been kind of butthurt about how much they did or didn't spoil in this. So we'll go ahead and watch the trailer, and then we'll go through scene by scene.
We're gonna do it in its entirety first, right?
We'll do a breakdown, but we'll start
to talk over it the first time.
That's fine. Yeah, we don't just play it.
We kind of have to talk over it, don't we? So we don't risk getting like.
I mean, kind of, yeah. We don't really want to get a takedown notice for just jacking the trailer
off.
Thank you. That was a very necessary addition.
I think it was.
It was good.
It added a lot to the show.
It was better than him sneezing.
True.
Fair.
Wow, I am digging the Soviet national anthem going on here.
Praise Putin.
Yeah, I really don't think that this is very subtle, do you?
We thought they were supposed to be Nazis. No, they're Russians, as it turns out.
Liberty or death.
Liberty or death.
Or face stomping.
I will take face stomping. Now there is actually there's a point I think early on in this trailer where remember when we seen that one screenshot of the building that looked like they had the Alamegan flags?
Yeah.
Same building, but it was with all the Garlean flags.
Oh.
Spoilers, man.
Which makes me think that our idea
Whoa,
was.
is this FF7?
I know it. Yeah, it really does seem a little.
That was very Shinra-esque.
Yeah, I think actually as we move more towards Garlemald, that vibe is going to start making its way.
There
into
is no
this.
FF7 remake. It's 5.0. That's just the code name.
It's FF16.
So we're never gonna see it. There it was.
Oh, yeah.
Now, see, all this war-torn type stuff in the beginning actually has me feeling kind of excited, but I'm afraid how long it's going to last.
But that's the thing, is that we've always known that the Alamegan part of this is going to be way more, at least in our opinion, is going to be more interesting.
It's just a matter of how long is that going to last.
Right.
Then what was it all for?
I just love all the Final Fantasy 6 references.
Here's the big one. This is the big thing that people are really freaking out about is Ustola there.
Get dunked on!
Traitor! Kinslayer!
Kingslayer.
Kingslayer.
That person's losing a hand.
Jamie Lannister's in here.
I think it's Kinslayer is what they're saying.
Us is one.
'Tis better to bend with the wind than stand tall and be broken.
See, I assume because they...
Hold up. That was a message from SE straight to us right there.
Oh, you don't like weeby shit, huh?
This is the problem that I have with this trailer, and by extension, the problem I'm going to have with the expansion, I think, is we just had all that really great, awesome, war-y action scene type stuff, and then we just go into all this, and it makes all of it seem completely irrelevant now.
Yeah, it does. It's like a big tonal shift.
I don't know. It does make it seem like that we're like gonna lose in Alamego, and we have to go, liberate Doma and get their help.
Well,
I
hadn't considered the possibility that we lose in Alamego.
That's actually fine with me, so long as, in a narrative sense, they keep up this idea that even though we're here, where maybe the stakes don't seem so high, the stakes still are extremely high. We cannot forget that.
What would he have of me?
I just hope the story doesn't let us forget that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want it to feel like, when, the in-between patches in the last expansion, where it's like, oh, we're not talking about the Warriors of Darkness, so don't worry about them type deal.
Well, because pacing was a big problem in Heavensward.
Absolutely.
And
it really was. When the Warriors of Darkness came in, it was so interesting and exciting, and then they were just They're just pissed off for 2 or 3 patches.
So it fizzled out big time.
It's kind of cool that we might actually get to witness not just in a cinematic sense, but the actual fight scene against Lise is kind of cool.
I don't know. They look like they're going to be making out.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that either.
I just want to know why they're fighting.
I don't want to cheat on Minfilia.
She's gone, bro. Let it go.
No, I'm very discerning.
She's dead, Jim.
Quit holding that candle, bro.
What about my Minfilia flashlight?
Oh my god. Made out of her actual flesh.
Also, you guys see
I was going to say a cast, but okay.
The true question is Ixion Harshifan or not?
No.
Shut up.
That theory's done.
There was our Estinian reveal.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that is what that is.
Yeah, I saw that too.
It is what it is.
Ain't what it ain't.
And that is good enough.
I actually went back and rewatched just that part of the trailer to see if it was really him or not. Some of these monsters look silly.
Look ye where the sun doth
I saw a
rise.
brain
Lob
dance from
face.
Final Fantasy
Crimson
VI.
embers darkening
I'm loving the
sky.
music at this part though.
This is
Look
that
ye where the sun
excerpt
doth
that we got
fall. See
at the end of Heaven's
azure
Word.
lost amidst the squall.
Oh, you mean that poem?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yep, that little from the developer blog or whatever.
Wisdom and the clarity to embrace violence for its own sake.
I wonder if that means we'll get the actual meaning of it.
Maybe. We are bearing down on this release date here, guys. So, all right, let's rewind this trailer and give it a second viewing. Now we're gonna go ahead and mute the audio and as we go through it, just kind of give our take on it. And all right, let's bring it back on screen here. And I do think that there are some really interesting reveals in here.
Yes.
And
The most interesting reveal is the fact that I don't have to play Stormblood because I have all the story already.
I don't think it reveals that much. I'm actually inclined to agree with Nika that if we got something, what we think we're getting, it's probably a red herring.
They are not going to put something in a trailer that literally spoils like a character death. That's not going to be spoiled in the review.
You say that, but it's fucking Square Enix.
I mean, I don't know. Kyle's got a point. Anyway, so we see Xenos, and I think this is what I would imagine is his personal guard with these sort of red visors on their helmets here. I think, along with Xenos, right? I think that kind of like how Darth Vader's got, what is it, the 55th clone unit, whatever it is? Like, he's got his own
elite squad.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think Xenos is going to have the same thing. Stop! Don't.
You're terrible.
Boo!
Sorry.
Don't
But not
mention
sorry.
that. Anyway, I do like
that was dumb.
I like his helmet though. I do.
Xenos looks sweet. He's
Xenos is a great
intimidating.
design.
Yeah.
We get more, some more cinematic shots.
If Samurai actually had that like rotating revolver of samurai swords, that might actually get me to play Samurai. But since you can't ever be as cool as Xenos, what's the point?
That is a pretty cool thing. Like, who thought of the samurai revolver sheath?
Xenos.
Everyone.
No. I mean, at Square Enix.
I know. I have no idea.
How do you come up with something like that?
Okay, well, think of it this way. How do we turn a samurai sword into a gun?
I mean, a gunblade.
It's possible that this is actually based on like a holster of the past, and they just decided to make it a little more fantasy-esque.
I think that somebody was watching Attack on Titan, because that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it reminds
That
me
is
of.
possible as well.
But I mean, like, no earthly being could hold something that big and metallic off of their waist. There's no way.
That's why he's in power armor, bro. Fallout 14.
Oof.
Just stop.
So, I mean, there's really one scene in here that I can't wait until we get to that I think is really interesting. I think this is a really interesting looking boss. We can kind of surmise that we're moving away from the more elegant aspects of Eorzea.
Yep.
And this, there seems to be some kind of similarities between this big blue guy.
Oh no, that's from Final Fantasy VI.
What is it?
That's Magi Master.
Oh, okay.
He changes his weakness from elements as you progress to the fight.
Okay.
The end. He's also in the Magitech facility, and there's actually a whole bunch of enemies from the Magitech facility in this trailer. So
Do you
get
think
hype for Soak and Magitech remix.
That's cool.
Are we raiding a Garlean at Magitech facility? That'd be sweet.
Possible?
But like, where in the lore does this guy fit in? I mean, is he?
He's a
Where
machine.
does any of the stuff in the fucking World of Darkness fit in? It just does.
Well, but I mean, like, there was a reason that characters like Zand and all of them had the proportions that they did.
If this is a Magitech facility with, let's say, Alamigo, for example, has been under control by Garlemald for 20 years, it isn't out of the realm of possibility that they've erected a Magitech facility somewhere in Alamigo, and one of the dungeons is us attacking it. Or storming it.
I mean,
Stormblooding it.
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot about the region that we don't know. But I mean, this is, I think, definitely a very interesting boss, and love to know some more lore behind it. I also like the weapons he's got here with the fucking spikes coming out of the top of his arms,
Baraka style.
All right, here's this.
Is that straight out of FF7?
It does. This looks straight. This really does look straight out of Final Fantasy VII. Again, if I had to
the underground Mako reactor.
If I had to guess where this might be, I think this is as we're in Authored and pushing north, more towards Garlemald. And I really do think that as we get more closer and closer to Garlemald, that this type of aesthetic will be more and more common.
I think that this might be actually an Alamigo. Just the way that the trailer's set up, I feel like it's actually divided into Alamigo at the beginning, and then we get that one scene where we're like crossing the sea to Athard, and then all the rest of it is over in Athard.
Now, to be fair, this does look like a bit of a slipshod sort of construction that's going on here. And we do see, as you look kind of farther in, past where the players are on that bridge, as you look farther in, we see that there is a scaffolding that has a bunch of spotlights, and it looks to be illuminating something that is resting at the center. So
the Mako cannon.
That could be, and there is the cannon in the distance. What exactly is being worked on there, or where the power source that they're drawing from for that cannon, I think is going to be very interesting.
That's why we don't have it in the Alamigan zones. They're going to blow it up.
This facility is fully operational.
I mean, I think that would be really cool if there.
It's also a cop out that we don't get to go to Alamigo because they blow it up. Like, how do we not have to make Alamigan zones, guys? Let's blow it up with a cannon.
I mean, that's a bit of a jump. You think they're gonna blow up Alamigo?
Wow, a Nero.
I wouldn't go that far.
But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the fact is that all the exploration zones that we've seen have not been in Alamigo, even though the story at the very beginning of the trailer says all signs point us to Alamigo.
I don't think that that's indicative of anything, because there was a lot of stuff in Heavensward that when we finally found it, we had no indication of, like the giant Charlayan Tower and like Idly Shire and stuff like that. Because I remember when I found that, and it's like, yeah, this is what was left of like a Charlayan library. I'm like, holy shit, are you fucking kidding me? That's amazing.
I think whatever this is going to be pretty interesting. This cannon has featured prominently in a lot of the artwork and some of the some of the other footage. I do think that something is going to be, there's going to be a big deal there. But again, you've got to ask, what is the power source? What are they drawing from to be able to power that cannon? I think that I think there's going to be a better answer to that than just
live stream
Aether or
a primal.
Come on, I mean, I think a primal's a bit of a lazy answer as well.
It is.
Yeah, but that's probably the answer. Let's be real.
They found one of Bahamut's nutsacks.
They're probably, or they've got like a good guy primal chained up in there, and they're sapping its energy.
I mean, I think it's equally as likely that could be the crash site for well, maybe not for Omega, but
Shinryu?
Yeah, Shinryu. That's what.
Or it could be a marmot on a treadmill.
Although if it was
Just a single one.
10,000 marmots on 10,000 treadmills.
No, it's just been running for a really, really
And we
long
have
time.
to go save them because they're abusing the marmot.
no, we have to kill the
Yeah,
marmots.
kill the marmots. What?
Kill the marmots. Kill the marmots.
Juxta's like everything that I've ever done has been to train up till this moment.
Yeah, I think it's probably not very likely that it is the impact crater from Shinryu. I don't think that.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think you'd be able to put the cannon up like that quickly.
Yeah,
Although, I mean, I don't know. We don't know what kind of
I can put it up
time
really
lapse
quickly.
is happening between Heaven's Word and Stormblood.
Either way, I somehow
It's
doubt
magic.
it.
They can put it up faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Shinryu, and they put that up there, and now we have to go fight Omega so we can build our own
This
cannon.
looks like it's inside.
This
of
does.
that place.
This looks like the platform that's probably being illuminated. And
just be
Yeah, when
some
he
type
jumps,
of-
you can see the stars. so
Yeah,
you
it could
don't
just
know
be
it's
some other
open.
type of like weapon facility or something.
It could be.
That's more Magitech facility because that's a mag rotor which attack you when you're trying to escape from the Magitech facility on the minecart.
Juxta, you have
They
the
use Fire
most
2 magic.
amazing collection of like information that should, by all means, never mean anything.
What? What are you talking
We
about?
do a Final
It's
Fantasy
obviously-
podcast, okay?
I know, but like think about like if his life had just like taken one small diverging path and he had not been on this show, that would be useless information.
Imagine if we were like a WoW podcast, right? Like just one, a different timeline. One little thing is different, right? Like all of that information that you had would be useless.
Oh my God, there is an
would
alternate
be-
timeline where we went down on the Tortanic.
That is true.
You know what, Juxta? It just sounds like they're feeling a little impotent today compared to your knowledge. I
Yeah,
appreciate
I'm just
you.
not used to getting it from him, you know?
Yeah, unlikely source, man.
Hey, everyone gets it from me at some point.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Are you talking about chlamydia?
Gonorrhea.
Okay. Just as long as we're clear. But yeah, you're probably right. That probably is at the center.
All eyes look to Alamigo,
All-
He doesn't
except
all
for
have
ours.
the Alamigo,
What
so
do you
that's
think that means?
I mean,
We're gonna look at it, but we're not gonna go there.
This is pretty cool.
we've only seen really like one zone definitively connected to Alamigo.
See, right
I'd
there.
be really
that was
bummed
that
if we don't
building.
actually get to go in Alamigo, though.
I think it's going to be a contested area.
Here, go back to that face really quick.
All right, we'll go back to the face.
All right, obviously Xenos, right? Now, there's still technically not anything that showing this definitively says one way or another, but does that... it
looks like Kita.
No, it looks a little masculine to me.
I'll say they've got
It does.
the typical SE masculine chin and jawline.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And not only that, but there is voiceover at this point that sort of implies that it's Xenos talking.
Right.
Okay, clearly Ida was the ugly one, and he.
That's why the betrayal happened.
She has a voice changer. It's obvious. They're Garlings. They have technology.
Wow.
And we get to see the revolver sheath in action. That is fucking cool. I don't
That's
care.
pretty cool.
I,
It is. It is.
I hate.
That is sweet.
I
You
hate
need
the
one of
weeby
those-
shit. I hate the weeby shit. But fuck me, that is fucking cool.
You need one of those for your great swords, bro.
Yeah.
but it's
That
been
would
so
be
fast
heavy
that
as
if he
fuck.
grabbed the wrong one, there's like no rhyme or reason to how fast that was spinning. Just say.
Nope.
No, and there doesn't need to be, except because he's a badass samurai and doesn't care.
No, he's
Fuck.
he's a badass. It's
It's
not because
just-
of the samurai part.
It's just cool. I mean, that's fuck. There's no way
It's-
around that. It's
it's-
just fucking cool.
It's another typical Square Enix thing. Like, this is completely unnecessary, and
You know,
I'm really glad it's there.
I know where that came from. I bet Yoshi P ran into Kojima one day, and Yoshi P's like, dude, I need something for my game. Like I just, something. Just, can you give me one cool idea? And Kojima's like, all right, revolver, great katana sheath.
Okay, I would have expected Nero to be the one to try to somehow credit Kojima for that, but
Look, just because I haven't played his games doesn't mean I don't still have an appreciation for him.
It is.
Sure.
It's a very weird choice, but I don't know. I like it. I actually.
It's
you
the
know
one
how,
good thing about Samurai.
You know how like we're supposed to hate Xenos? I really fucking don't.
Not yet.
not yet.
You know, he like. Am I supposed to hate him like I hate
Because
Darth
he killed
Vader?
Vizsla, clearly, that's
Yeah,
why.
that's why you're gonna hate quote hates Xenos is because he's going to kill Y'shtola.
He's
I'm not
gonna
gonna hate
kill
him for that.
Everyone, not just Y'shtola. He's gonna
you,
kill all
Y'shtola's
our
cool.
friends.
He better murder a lot more people than just Y'shtola if I'm gonna hate him. Because here's the thing, like, and we talked about it before. Going into this, I still don't have that hatred for the Garleans that I feel like I'm supposed to have. I haven't had it since early 2.0 because they haven't been the bad guys in quite some time.
Because you're a sympathizer.
I am, but I got like kind of where Nero's at. I need Xenos to do something to make me hate him.
No, the
and having a
Garleans have gotten
badass
to
Sheath
you.
isn't doing it.
They've got to you.
They got to me ages ago. They got to me before I fought Titan for the first time. Where
Exorcism now.
I was legitimately like, you know what? Fuck this place. I want Titan to win.
Lio in the chat saying that it's a fidget spinner sheath. I like that idea. There we go. So yeah, I mean, if Xenos really is, this super bad guy, look, killing Y'shtola is not going to make me buy that.
Especially
like, there's got to
when
be
the punch
something.
has already been pulled. Because of this.
There's got to be something that's way more impactful than that gets me to fucking hate him. Really?
What if he cuts your arm off?
No.
No, if he cuts your arm off,
No.
your DPS is halved forever.
It's interesting. It's too interesting.
Because then he gets to have. Well, first of all, he's not the first. He's just a Raubon wannabe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot he's Dark Knight.
Yeah.
What if he kills that one marmot before I do?
Bastard.
You
know, and that's actually bringing a problem to me. What could Xenos actually do to make you hate him?
Be
I
a
think he's
whiny
gonna be
bitch
so
like
horrible.
Darth Vader.
He's gonna blow up Alamigo, killing our people and his people. I'm telling you, he's gonna kill everyone, and that's why we hate him.
If they make him a whiny cunt like they did Anakin Skywalker, then I'll hate him. I'll legitimately hate him then.
They made it sound like we're gonna hate him because of his actual actions. Like
think about how weird the dichotomy of the Darth Vader character is, because he's probably the coolest and most compelling character in those opening 3 films.
Plus Rogue One.
And you do know that instinctively he's supposed to be the villain and you're supposed to be rooting against him, but like there's nothing that really delivers that same narrative impact in the first film that makes you go, fuck, I hate this guy, which is why they were able to give him a sympathetic turn and ultimately make the arc more about him than it was about Luke. And I think like you need some of that very kind of artful storytelling and that very delicate storytelling to be able to play with the emotions of your audience. And I feel like everything from the FF14 plot after 2.0, right? Like after 2.55, after they pulled that punch of the Sultana, I feel like everything narratively from there has had a lot of the subtlety and mystery stripped out of it, and that bums me out.
Which brings me to my first big problem with this this scene that's coming up right here, and that's Y'shtola's quote-unquote death, would-be death, whatever. You're right, we don't know. But here's the problem with it, okay? Because if there was going to be any death that I really cared about of characters that we already know about, it's going to be someone like Y'shtola or maybe Thancred. But even just like you've said, Escalia, just a lot of people, that's not even really a big deal because they don't really feel that connected to the Scions. The only reason that I feel like I do is because they're a lot better now than they were in 2.0, right?
Yeah.
Right, which is why they couldn't kill them in 2.0. They have to kill them now.
No, but this is the fucking problem with putting it in here. And you know what? You could have even actually had the shield breaking in this trailer and it would have been fine because we don't know, did she survive that or not? But by putting in the fucking Harshafant little blood spit thing, okay, she's dead. Great. You just pulled one of the only possible punches that you should have kept to yourself. And for those people going, oh, well, maybe they're going to do something different. We don't know that she's dead. If she's not dead, it's the fucking Sultana all over again.
Right.
No, well,
It's fucking lose-lose for Square Enix by putting this in there. The only way that it can be justified is if we leave her. She's still alive, and over the course of the expansion, all we see is Xenos fucking torturing her day after day.
Dude, he could be trying to like
after
brainwash
day
her, or pull her
after
over to
day.
the side, any of that stuff.
That's the only way, is if they actually use her quote-unquote supposed death for something else. But again, am I going to give them the benefit of the fucking doubt? No, because what did they do with the Sultana? Bullshit, all nothing.
I think he should behead Hildebrand and then take his mask off to reveal that he's Yoshi P under there, and then I will hate him.
Just to officially say Hildebrand is dead. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, look, the fact that they do the exact same camera angle that they did for Harshafant, like, oh, just everything about this
I feel like they
reeks.
did that on purpose just to make us think she's dead, though.
But that is such a bad swerve at this point.
It serves no reason.
Yeah, given what the way that our expectations have been set up in terms of character death, right? That this, I have to agree with Kahlo on this, that this really undercuts any narrative purpose that this moment was supposed to serve in the game and to the player base.
And even if, in this particular case, they do have something good planned, this still undercuts it to a certain extent. And by not spoiling it, it could have been even better.
Yeah.
Like, just think about it. We're in that cutscene in Stormblood. She's doing the shield thing. We're like, oh, yep, we've seen the shield thing. It breaks, and then she's fucking gets sliced. How much better would that have been to not even see that coming?
They should have just showed us the shield part and having him slice it. Maybe even it cracking and then just not showing us.
And now when we get to that scene, it's going to be like, all right, well, here's the fucking bullshit Y'shtola dies scene.
Yeah, that really, I mean, look, when you go back and you look at the composition of the way that this is edited, I 100% agree with you guys, because if they had stopped it right here, if they had cut it right here, right? Like, this is
what a cool shot, first of all.
I mean,
that's the way they cut it in the benchmark. Was it in the benchmark?
Was it the benchmark? It was somewhere.
We saw this particular one again, but even where go a little bit further, if they were to cut it right when it shatters,
right here,
when it
no,
cracks.
keep on going. Keep on going.
Keep on going.
Stop it right there.
Right there.
Right there. She could have survived that. Right? It's when they actually show the Harsha-font trademarked blood coming out of my mouth, spitting up hot chocolate scene.
This one right here.
That one.
There it is.
That one.
That
is Harsha-font.
You know what they can do to make this work is if they continue playing with this like thing where like in the scene like right before this, she's like, hey, you want to go get like a drink sometime? Or like you get like a scene like that where you're just like, no. I don't want to go get a drink with you because I know what's going to happen.
You're
next.
sitting at like some little makeshift cafe at Rolgar's Reach, and she brings you hot cocoa.
Yeah, you're like, no, don't do it.
Hot cocoa becomes that foreshadowing thing. Whenever anyone has hot cocoa,
hot cocoa is the Black Raven of this game.
Dear God, it is more like Twin Peaks than we realize. Anyway, all right.
A smile better suits a hero.
Oh man,
damn.
Certain part of our audience is going to be real upset with that drop. Anyway, so I agree. I totally think you're right that it blunts the narrative impact that could have had. We also see. I thought this was ephemeral.
This is the Warrior of Light, right?
Who?
This is
the guy that gets
Fordola.
knocked down. The guy right after the Y'shtola death.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think it was the Warrior of Light who got knocked over.
The scene, okay, and if you realize that it actually hovers on the Warrior of Light, also laying on the ground, not moving. Dun, dun, dun.
So we're dead.
We die.
We die.
Wow, what a narrative choice.
That would make us hate Xenos because we can't play. Wait, no.
We die and have to re-roll.
Legitimately, that would be one of the most interesting choices in an MMO ever.
I mean, I think
I don't think we expect that.
I can't save Y'shtola, and something bullshit happens, and we wake up and like everyone's gone or dead or some bullshit. And like, people left us because they thought we were dead, but then we weren't.
I'd respect it, but not a great business choice.
No. All right, here we see Fordola. And
looking determined.
You mean Yida?
God damn, I could have sworn during the first sets of trailers that she was more Rogden-esque. No. But no, clearly you get a real nice shot of her.
Her build is her face is more pure, but her build is very much.
Maybe it's those stocky. Maybe it's those stocky football player shoulders that made me think that. I don't know.
You cannot make a hero that tall. It's not possible.
But people are going to be clamoring for this hairstyle. I can already see it.
It's all right.
It's okay.
Right.
As
she reaches waifu status, though, people are going to want it more.
Well, that's the thing is I've already seen in the chat new waifu. You guys fucking embarrass me. Just so you know.
And here we are going to Doma.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the 1.0 cutscene all over again.
Again, I really and I've done this in very sarcastic ways before, but I really have to express the level of concern that I have for having this narrative split in two different directions. I really think that
I think it might be a good plan.
Really? What makes you say that, Juxta?
Because the alternative is having one narrative which is completely half-assed and terrible, and and we get Heavensward.
Yeah, but this plays into the idea that Alamigo is going to be a footnote in this expansion.
I think it's going to be more like half and half.
How could it possibly be half and half? I mean, throughout the whole thing. See, I think it would have been better to just get the whole Alamigo thing done with, and then go to Doma, and then have a whole new kind of
a new arc.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I'm hoping is going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think this indicates that we're going to have both going simultaneously, and that I'm not a huge fan of.
I still don't think it's going to go simultaneously, but I think one's going to play into the next one. And
and the idea, that it's, Xenos destroys Alamigo or that territory, we get shifted from that territory into Authored, is what I don't like. I don't like that idea. I'm way more interested in what Alamigo and that region has to offer than what Authored brings to the table. And what,
you're just a dirty gaijin who doesn't want to go out to see foreigners.
I mean, that's part of it, but at the same time, though, I really feel like if that's the case, that it'll feel like for 4.0, for that patch, we'll have sort of the split in the storylines where we're doing Alamigo stuff and then we're also doing Authored stuff. But that once 4.0 concludes, that from 4.1 to 4.5, it's going to be Authored. And that to me gets really monotonous.
My hope would be that we see something along the lines of, like it's been suggested that, we lose immediately, or at first in Alamigo we lose and go to Doma to try and get more help. And then if the ending of the story arc is us marching back into Alamigo and this time being able to take it, I could deal with that.
Listen, if you follow the pattern that Square Enix has set out, given A Realm Reborn and Heavensward,
right,
what you end up finding is that the main villain that you're set against, that narrative is usually wrapped up pretty tight by the end of the expansion, so that the expansion story seems fully fleshed out and encapsulated and finished.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying that will be the trajectory of the 60 to 70 grind.
Okay, so but
and then 4.1 will pick up. Who the fuck knows?
But then 4.1 from that point is ostensibly authored. It's you're only in Doma and those surrounding lands with, I mean, and again, if Nika's theory ends up panning out that Alamigo in that region is destroyed, that's ostensibly land that you can't really go back to. You know what I mean? Like, it just
where are we getting from that it's going to be destroyed, though? I don't get that.
The fact that we've had no playable demo areas or anything that shows that we're actually able to go there.
There's the.
There was concept art and bullshit.
No, there's the
there was actually a question where someone says, "Is
benchmark?" The benchmark had a zone that is in the Alamigo region.
Right, but are we going to get to go into the city?
There was a question.
I'm not saying the entire region is going to be destroyed, but
someone asked him in an interview, "Is Alamigo a dungeon?" And he said, "Please look forward to it." He said he could not comment one way or another whether it would be like a dungeon or a battlefield or a zone. Look forward to it.
And again,
which is why I think that they just didn't want to create an entire full zone of the actual city, and they're just going to blow it up, and that's why we're going to hate Xenos.
No.
I don't know.
It's probably just going to be a 4-man dungeon.
I don't know about
if
that.
If it's a 4-man dungeon, dude, I'm fucking
I'm going to be pissed.
I'm going to be so fucking pissed.
That's the Magitech facility.
I'm going to be so fucking pissed.
I think that Alamigo might end up being more like our last sort of like Oz's Lost sort of zone, where there might be a dungeon in it in some way. There's sort of a safe zone sort of part of it, and then the rest of it is still controlled by the Garleans / the Alamigan people who sympathize with them. And so it's, we can explore some of it, but it's, dangerous area.
I'm not saying that if they blow up Alamigo that's even a bad plot point. Like, that's actually a pretty compelling plot point.
Especially if he kills, like, rebel people and his own people, I think that would make him pretty hated.
If we can't have it, no one can.
Yeah, no. And I'm not saying don't do that. That's a stupid plot point. I don't ever want to see that. But Nika, I think that your concerns are well founded in that we have seen limited zones that would be considered in the upper or northwest of Eorzea. Or northeast, sorry, of Eorzea. So, I think that concern is completely legit.
Especially because we had no indication before this of anything to do with Doma, and then we were all sitting around waiting for the Japanese Fan Fest announcement or something like, "Hey, guess what? We're actually going to Doma," and we're like, "Wait, I really wanted to know about Alamigo. What about Alamigo?" They're like,
exactly,
"No, Kugane."
Yeah.
Like, what about Alamigo? They're like, "Housing in there." I'm like, "No, let me know about." There was nothing, So I'm just kind of like. Okay.
Yeah, I actually share Nero's sentiment, though, about this idea of terrible pacing and the story being split up. Because even if let's say that they don't blow up Alamigo, and we do keep coming back to it, even in the odd patches, then we're just going to fall right back into the same sort of issues that we had after Heaven's Ward started doing the odd patches with the Warriors of Darkness, where it feels like every time a patch hits, or every time an odd patch hits, it's just a completely different story that feels disconnected from everything.
Right. Yeah, and see, that is my primary concern, because I don't think that the whole 4.x run is going to be all authored. I think a lot of it is going to be an Alamigo, because when we eventually do remove Garlemald from there, you're going to have this vacuum of power, and that usually leads to civil war.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a
focus. True.
Is installing a new regime is going to be a focus in the X series. Where
that's just too much work. Just kill all the bad people
that
and then
really
back
interesting
out.
Though, because you have the people that have always lived under Garlean rule.
Yeah, you're going to have
you
two
have
factions.
the people who on both sides of the original Civil War that went down between the monks and
that's a pretty good point.
Followed both sides of that faction, and so all three of those people are going to be.
I hate to be the naysayer, but you guys are forgetting one big point here, is that we had a very similar discussion when we talked about the idea of Talegi Adeleji in the Syndicate and this big power vacuum in Ul'dah that never happened.
That's true. Well, but that's because the Sultana never actually died.
Okay,
and
but he also
her, so.
Exactly, but he mentioned I saved you, blah 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 blah, gonna return the favor, blah 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 blah. Nothing ever came of that.
But my point is, even after the end,
you know what?
Fruition.
You know what? Actually, that's. Kahlo, you bring up a really fucking great point. You bring up a really great point, because I was sure that was the setup for Omega. Because that's what I thought.
True.
That's what I thought Talegi Adeleji was going after. Why else would you want the
Cart No Flats?
Yeah, the Cart No Flats.
Not to mention, if they would have actually done something with that to where her supposed death but being brought back actually led to something, it wouldn't have been as bad. It would have been disappointing because it's like it takes the bite off, but it still served a greater purpose. The fact that they did nothing with it, that I think is the real crime.
Right. Well, the point I'm just trying to make is when you look at 3.0, even after 3.0 ends, the 3.x series still covered two distinct story arcs, and I don't think that they would do just one with 4.x.
I think that you're right, but the problem is that you end up having that very disjointed feel like we had with the Warriors of Darkness. Because yes, you had two concurrent plot points that were running in conjunction, and then one of them really ended up falling dead. You know what I mean? Like the Dragon Song War felt properly fleshed out.
Good.
I felt like if they had tried to, extend that out for another patch or two patches like they had, that it would have gotten too drawn out. It would have been too slow.
Yeah, I agree.
So they needed something, but the Warriors of Darkness just was there for a patch and then gone. And I am concerned a bit about the writing right now.
Yeah.
But they do show one warrior watching you throw the Nidhogg off the cliff off in the distance, and you see him hanging out during the summit, creepily in the back. They were teasing that he was there, but it
wasn't good though.
Yeah, that's really the problem, is that the payoff when we actually got to the confrontation was just so meh.
Well, and I mean, going right back to that first time, you cast them into the abyss, and every player in unison said, "Why?
Yeah,
why are you doing that? Don't do that. That's dumb."
So that Ilberd can have them, guys.
But I mean, that's
too
the thing.
Strong to be held by the Warrior of Light for so long.
But when your audience is sitting there going, "Why?" then I think that's not a good thing to leave your audience with, right?
I'm just happy that at least in the final patch, Amrit goes, "Yeah, that probably wasn't the best idea." Like they actually had him say that. I was like, okay, at least they acknowledge.
At least they acknowledge they fucked it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, if 4.x has 2 story arcs and it can balance them, and they're doing one where it's kind of dealing with this power vacuum that we have now in Alamigo, and the other half of it is starting to make our push towards Garlemald, that could be interesting.
It could be.
If they balance it correctly.
Yeah, but balancing is going to be key there.
Yeah. And I think you're right. Like, there is potential for more interesting things in Alamigo, even after we unseat Xenos.
Yeah.
Especially getting sexually stepped on.
Well, I mean,
That's
Goes without saying.
If we could
I'm
get-
aware.
if we could get-
Alamigo. I hate to split hairs with you, Juxta, but that's not Alamigo.
but if we could get
Well,
Xenos
that's
two-step
weird,
on us.
That's that weird Doma shit.
It could go both ways. Maybe we bring her
No,
to Alamigo
you
to
go
spread
both
the
ways.
good.
No, I
Spread the
go
good
both ways.
Damn it.
We can all go both ways.
Not historically.
Can we not? Anyway, let's just continue on here. Again, lots of glory shots of Author, Doma area, lots of places that we've seen before. I think this is all places that we've seen before. I don't know, like I'm a little concerned that there's maybe only 2 or 3 total zones for this whole
I'm trying to think
because
back
that's all
to
we've seen.
I know. I'm thinking back to the Heavensward trailer, and it didn't show a ton of zones.
You know what? Actually, I will give you that. You're right. So they may be working with a kind of
Yeah, like we had no idea about Azis Law, and like we really
That is true. That is true.
Purpose and
Yeah, we actually called out like there's no way a place like Azis Law exists. I'm like, oh well, fuck us then.
Yeah.
But did it really exist?
This is
That's a big thing.
that's Susano.
It's a big
Is
thing.
that who that is?
That
Is that-
one,
I can't remember.
I think. Hold on.
I can't. I think that is. I can't.
That's who
remember.
I thought. Yeah, who I thought it looked like.
Yeah, that's right. Since we're going out to E3, we're gonna get an opportunity to get a battle T-shirt. A
Yeah.
Susano battle T-shirt. Oh, Nika, I can hear the disappointment. No, no,
Nika, I'm getting one for Juxta before I get one for you, and I'm not getting one for Juxta.
definitely not getting one for Juxta.
It's all bad.
Juxta was super salty about that.
You guys think if I got one and sent it to Skuro that Juxta would be upset?
I think
I think we'd all be upset.
I don't think that's just T-shirt big enough for Skuro.
He's actually been losing weight, bro.
It's so huge.
No, it's don't say that. Anyway, so I'm excited to do the battle challenge.
Hell
I hope we get an opportunity to. I think that'll.
I
be
hope
fun.
we're doing it and Yoshi pulls the cable out on us while we're doing it, disconnects us.
Yes.
Like, no.
It's like, you guys lost.
Okay.
Yoshi's T-shirt for you.
This is interesting.
Hi,
Lakshmi.
Altana.
No, Lakshmi.
Oh. Altana would have been more interesting.
Far more humanoid than I was expecting.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Like I did not expect.
Okay, well, if you played Final Fantasy VI for starters, you would know that Lakshmi, also known as Scarlet in the English version, is very much a humanoid version, and she heals you for about a cure 2.5.
Well,
This is what I
think,
mean.
I think Lakshmi's
How do you
always-
not know this? This is basic knowledge.
Lakshmi has always been pretty humanoid, but I think because she is a primal, that up until this
Right.
point, even
from the Lamia, right?
yeah. Well, although actually, you know what?
Lamias are hot. We want to do them, so it makes sense that she'd be hot.
No, stop. Now, we don't know exactly what the background of the origin of the Lamia are, right? But if they originally came from some type of humanoid aspect, maybe they were once humans, and now they are
is
what
the
they are.
idealized version of themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That might make a little bit more sense. That's the thing we have to remember is she is a primal, so she is born in their image,
Well,
whatever they imagine her to be.
It wouldn't surprise me. In 11, the Lamia were results of humans being experimented on.
Yeah.
I just wasn't expecting like 15 years ago Rachel Lee Cook. Like
I
that's the
agree.
weird part to me.
I agree. It took me off guard, too.
Yeah, like I don't know. I if it's like especially for primals, I expect like more like
'cause
distorted features or whatever. I don't. It just,
Lakshmi is just like beauty personified is basically what her
I thought
element
that's what
is.
Siren was supposed to be, though.
No, Siren is kills soldier or
Yeah,
sailors.
lures them
But even-
in with her
And she's got big
song.
wings coming out of her head, at least.
but even Sophia was
That's a helmet.
was more it had more
Yeah,
primal
Sophia
than
was very humanoid, but had like that fantasy.
There was still
difference
something
there.
about her.
This,
Exactly.
This chick just looks like a big giant person.
Well, hold on. Cecil says we never actually see what's under her skirt.
Throbbing Mikode Fudakak. Right.
that is actually true. I mean, it does seem like there might be something a little bit more to her and her character design.
I mean, someone says, isn't she a giant snake from the waist down?
I don't know. I could not see.
Someone says snake.
Giant snake lady.
I could not.
Snake bottom half phase 2.
Couldn't see a snake bottom half. I don't know that just looked. It just looked like a dress. It just looked like some kind of ethereal.
But it's so
nonsense
huge
happening
and floaty that it's
in her
possible
cooch.
she's hiding it under there.
Maybe she's molting right
There's
now.
50 Lalafels under there just holding her up.
Or maybe this is like, you know how in a lot of games or whatever that the monsters can use magic to conceal what they really look like. So phase 2, the magic wears off and her evil form comes out.
But she's not supposed to be an evil one.
But we're fighting her.
Okay, we fought Ramu too, and it was just a test.
Nika, can you be smart for a little bit?
Rude.
Damn.
I just meant big scary monster looking thing.
She's not scary looking. She's very nice. We want to do her. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, she looks.
This all comes down to Juxta wants to do her.
She's primal waifu. Okay,
I see.
the
Primal
primal.
You can still do her if
waifu.
she has a snake bottom half.
Would you not? What kind of question is that?
What's your stance on cochlea?
Anyway,
He doesn't know what that is.
let's
I know it's
I think it's the wrong word anyway.
let's
That's for dragons.
let's talk about this area, the ramen bowl, as Juxta likes to refer to it.
Look at the size of that house on it. How do you have much more besides that?
I think, well, and again, because I think when you see this, the expectation is that, maybe the dwellings or whatever kind of, work upwards.
Oh, maybe they're inside of it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm very curious to see what the actual structure on the inside of this looks like. But
Wow, you actually just got me legitimately excited for this now.
here's another thing that I've noticed is that these structures kind of on the outside, they look almost like stone fingers coming out of the ground.
I was thinking when I saw that picture, I was like, "Is that Final Fantasy 15 like Titan getting ready to grab this thing?" He's gotta get his cup
7
noodles.
fingers.
It really is very enigmatic, very interesting. And I think that this is some of the environmental detail that, Square Enix has always been so good at, that I'm always so engaged by, that, I'm really interested to know what, what this place is kind of all about.
Hazard 1121 says that it kind of looks like Noah's Ark, or that it could be an ark of some sort.
I see
Survive
that.
the flood through that.
I see that.
Made out of stone?
You know what I'm actually really excited about? And it's not that Square Enix has done a bad job of this thus far, but a lot of this stuff that's popping up in Othard now, I feel like a lot more detail and effort has gone into weaving and creating a history and lore of the zones here.
It does look like the top of Kami's Lookout.
It kind of does. I don't know. I don't know if I totally agree with that, Kahlo. Again, I think we'd have to get hands on and really be able to play it to really be able to make that kind of assessment.
Well, all right, let me rephrase. What we've seen, I feel like there's more to draw on from a standard zone from like the original like a Realm Reborn type areas.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with context. And I think one of the zones that always really kind of did this for me in Final Fantasy XI was Soramug Champagne, where when you travel through it, you've got all of these towers that are fallen, and you've got all of these battlements that have clearly been damaged over time, but they give you no explanation of what you're running through.
Yeah,
and you're like, what happened here?
It is amazing because that zone on its face looked boring as shit. Like it is just like the grayest of gray.
But the thing is every time I ran through it, I was always like, I wonder what the fuck happened here.
Battle of Stormblood.
And they paid that off later in Wings of the Goddess by showing you what the zone was while it was, under siege.
Showing, the Battle of Saramug and the sacking of Garlish Citadel.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to draw another parallel from FF11 to, where
this
we're
game will never be FF11-2 in Nero.
I know it won't, and that's okay.
That's for the best.
But the other parallel that I want to draw is that I hope Alamigo as a city doesn't become analogous to what Tavnasia was.
Oh.
Where it's just sort of like this, MacGuffin or red herring that never gets paid off.
Mystical city that never appears.
Right.
Tavnasia? Well, I mean, Sandoria story. You find out what happened.
Yeah, but you never get to go there. It's shown in the fucking opening credits.
Tabnazia itself, yeah. You only get to see it.
You never even get to go to its ruins. Like, that is never paid off, and that was one of the things that always drove me fucking crazy.
Yep, you get to see. You can go see it like one time.
You know, you want to talk about teasing and paying stuff off. One of the coolest things that Square Enix did in Heavensward that up until now, at least we have no evidence thus far, they haven't done again, is remember when we first started seeing the Void Arc in Sea of Clouds? Just like flying through the cloud, like how that lit fucking everything up, and everyone's like, oh my god, that thing's so cool. What could it be? They've never done that again.
Well, we wouldn't see that until 4.0.
Right, but what I'm saying is I don't know, obviously I'm not smart enough to necessarily come up with teases for everything, but it just seems like it's such a small thing to be able to do that you could just put like one or two guys like, hey, you know, we want to tease the next leg of the raid somehow, right? How could we do that?
So you're saying you want to see that more often?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Like I would say, like a Void Arc equivalent tease we wouldn't see till 4.0.
Right.
I don't want to see that.
But even back through Heavensward, because that Void Arc thing happened early on, so, you know, why didn't they find other, you know, ways to, like, tease stuff like that?
Well, you could see Gold Saucer off in the distance before we got access to it.
Yeah, but we knew what that was going to be.
Yeah, we knew that Gold Saucer was coming.
I mean, true, but it was really cool to see in the distance, like the floating lights and everything.
Yeah, you're right. It was. But yeah, I think that type of in-game tease that you don't tell anybody about and people have to find it themselves, because then that spreads through the community like absolute wildfire. And I think regardless of what your temperament is towards the game, when something like that happens, you can't help but get hyped.
Sorry, I forgot my mic was off. And one of the things that I think I find frustrating about modern MMO development is that, you know, at least in older style MMOs, it was sort of like they put you in a world and the world didn't really care about you. But what Final Fantasy XIV does is it puts you squarely at the center of everything. It puts you at the center of every bit of conflict that's going on. There's nothing that doesn't really involve you or doesn't work its way back to you. You're a sounding board for everything that is happening in Eorzea that's relevant. There's no sense that, you know, like, it feels like when you're not directly paying attention to the place, time freezes there. Nothing interesting happens.
I counter with the Scions with Hori Boulder. He goes on adventures with his brother, and I'm sure they're fucking those two Mithra or the Mikute sisters.
I had completely forgotten about Hori Boulder.
How do you forget about these important
hangs out in
things?
the
Hold on. The battle that you get to have with him back in 2.0 is actually really cool. That's a really cool moment.
Yeah. More Hori Boulder, less Y'shtola dying. Well, more of that too, but less Y'shtola.
But there does seem to be, you know, this
a little time bubble that's around him.
I mean, not just that, but at the same time, like, I feel like there's a monotony to having to know everything or to be the protector of the world. I miss the perspective that an MMO would give you, where you're just a piece of the world. And that's it. And that's all you are. It's not some, you know, grand fucking plan to have you save everything. You are a person and you rise to the occasion.
There was moments they could have done really cool stuff like with that in Heavensward, like where while we're off doing something, something bad happened while we're gone. Like, you know, by our not being there, this was an actual loss that happened.
I mean, there were a few times that they I think they had the potential to do that with the the little sort of, I don't want to say war, but the little kerfuffles that were going on between kerfuffles that were going on between the heretics and or even the lowborn and the highborn. You know, like there was that kind of stuff that kind of happened, but nothing ever really came of it, because we got there in time. You guys remember when the Ascians went into the Waking Sands and just murdered everybody?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. We got, like, that was the point.
We had to take the bodies out.
We all had to, like, take a step back and be like, what?
Yeah.
Fuck? And they're even, like, dead. What are the fucking little sylphs?
Sylph.
They're just like, I mean, that was traumatizing. Like, what happened? Not just we were annoyed by the sylphs, they were like the cute little innocent creatures, and then they were dead, and we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And they were all dead.
It was that was when the story took a definite.
Oh, was that the Garleans or was that the Ascians that did that?
No, I think that was Livia, wasn't it? Wasn't it Livia?
Okay, Livia then.
Yeah.
I thought that's when the Ascians came and kidnapped Menphilia, and then we have to go.
Oh yeah. That's right. They broke into the Waking Sands
Okay.
twice.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. As if
Not a safe place.
Sorry, guys, I don't raid, so I don't know these story cutscene things.
It's understandable.
But you do make a really good point that so much of what happens in this game is utterly dependent and driven by us.
Yes.
Which Yoshi has straight up said that he tells both the MSQ team and the Quest team that any decisions that happen in the story, he wants them to be dependent on the Warrior of Light, that everyone around the Warrior of Light should be affected by his or her decisions.
Right.
But the only problem with doing that is that, like, because we can't actually speak any lines in the game, and we never do, it just feels like everything, like literally our life is people walking up to it and say, here's my problem. Are you able to stab it?
Right.
Stoic nod.
Stoic
And then you
nod.
just stoic nod. Or you give a sad... No.
Yeah, that is a good point. Where your problems don't feel like your own.
Yeah, exactly. Like if they could come. This, I don't know how you'd ever work this, but if
Your
they could come to
tasks
us,
don't feel like your own.
but if they could ever come to us and we would just say, "No, I'm not helping with that.
Nope.
Fuck you." Like if you had that kind of option, it would make it feel a little more real.
But you can do that
By not playing?
By coming to the Moogle Beast tribe. You can be like, no, your problems are your own. Bye. And then
You just have that quest that sits there on forever flagged.
Okay, well, and then the dragons are gonna come and burn the Moogles down, and you're gonna be happy.
But that doesn't
It
happen.
doesn't actually happen if you ignore them.
Exactly.
You can pretend.
No, if we would actually allowed to say no and the dragons come burn them to death, you know how few Moogles would be left in this world?
That is true. But it's those types of things. Like I feel like
I mean, it's harder than MMO when you create your own character and it's basically supposed to be us. Like that's why silent protagonists are always meant to put yourself into their shoes. So in an MMO, especially where every character is different and we're not all playing the same character, it's harder to do.
And that's the thing. It's really hard to do something like that because you'd get infinitely more moments of casted into the abyss. Where it's like, well, I don't want to say that though.
Exactly. But that's only if you're trying to hold to the rigidity and the structure of a script or tell an inherent story. If the players get to choose what their story is, then the dialogue that you go through more times than not is, what the fuck do you want to buy? Like, that's it. Like, there's like shop dialogue and then what you're typing to other fucking players. Like that, I think is inherently a little bit more interesting to me than having, because, and I'm not saying that FF14 doesn't have a good story. It clearly does have a very good and compelling story. The problem with it is that the story's over when it's over. Like it you know what I mean? Like it's only expanded with the developer, and it's never. Like the player never takes ownership of it.
And that's the thing. Like that's one thing that the Old Republic did so damn well. And I mean, obviously we've joked that it's gone down, but it didn't go down because of its story. The story in that was so good. And yeah, of course, whatever you pick, you're gonna get to the result eventually. But things would change. Like you could influence. Like you'd have different people in your group at the end of it as part of your narrative. Collection.
And again, I'm not saying that Square Enix needs to do that with their game. Obviously, they have laid out that this is a narrative-driven game, and that's fine. But the thing is that that leads to things like the only history that you're able to come across is stuff that has been definitively written to happen before your influence. There is nothing. It feels like there is nothing going on actively right now in the world that you are not being clued in on or aware of as the Warrior of Light.
Yep.
And I think that there is, there's a certain level of monotony to that. You know what I mean? Like I like the idea that player agency ends up having some kind of end effect on the world or the community or whatever. Like that was always the thing that drew me to MMOs far more than, hey, look at this sword that I got.
Yeah, and oh my god, like I say, I go back to the Old Republic, and in my character, I had a Sith character where the first half of the story is you trying to hunt down this girl and kill her. And when you finally do, you get the option then to try to turn her to the dark side if you want to.
Right.
You can offer right there, and she's just gone forever. Or you can turn her to the dark side and she becomes one of your romantic interests and she stays with you for the rest of the game. It gives you like, I feel like I made a choice in this game and it changed the end result.
Yeah.
And by the way, for those of you who want to know what it's like, what we're dealing with today, it is so goddamn humid in here.
Oh my God.
The Velcro holding up our foam is starting to give way.
Actually, that fell when I sneezed. I think that was my fault.
I think it's the humidity.
Appreciate it. Actually, that thing just falls a lot. The Velcro you bought is shitty. So, thanks.
It's your fault.
Thanks for that.
Piece of
Appreciate
shit.
it.
Yeah, you
Scalia.
can buy like industrial strength Velcro at Walmart. It's not.
Yeah,
Well,
I
great.
know, but that's not what he bought.
I bought nails too. How are those working?
Well, they're difficult for corners, for corner pieces.
That's true.
Anyway, let's go back to our phone lines. Take another call here from Fate and Darius from the Genova server. What's going on, Fate?
Oh, doing great. Looking forward to the expansion, just like everyone else here listening to the show. It's great to hear from you.
Well, thanks for calling Limit Break Radio.
Yeah, I'd like to put out a PSA out there for all those adventures. Looking forward to the Stormblood, depending on where you're located, 3 to 5 a.m. Welcome, gents. It's going to be a great adventure. Cam girls, weeaboos, and waifu pillows all over the place for this expansion, but the point of that I'm bringing up is that when you go out and adventure, please bring a buddy. That's the whole thing, because I apparently have been going through back and forth with the FC, and apparently I'm going through in as DPS for the first time, simply because we won't have to worry about long wait times. We're talking about possibly an hour and a half to 2 hours of queue times, and even in a recent
Better not be 2 hours of queue times. Jeez.
Yes.
No, DPS, prepare your buttholes.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be bad.
It's going to be brutal.
So please prepare for that. Obviously, Yoshi P had been questioning this, and he said, "Well, if you're gonna like your job, you're gonna play your job," and that is not really an answer, and I don't accept that answer. But in response, please, everyone who is listening, I implore you to get prepared, buddy up, get a tank, get a healer, join in on the fun, get instant queued, and have a good, awesome time.
Fate and Darius from the Genova server. Thanks for the call. If you want to call Limit Break Radio on Skype 810.
I got my buddy set up already.
Number? What's our phone number? 810-515-8715. LimitBreakRadio.com/Discord.
Did you guys know that I'm actually going to level a healer for Stormblood?
No.
What? Yeah, no, Juxta, we talked about this, because obviously you're going to level your white mage. So now when we do those big FC runs into the Omega Time Rift thing, whatever, me and him are going to be the healers with our life grips.
Right, rescue, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We're going to be pulling you motherfuckers all over the place.
You have just assured me I will never do a dungeon with you.
Yeah, you will.
By the way...
Not just a dungeon, a raid. So we have
hell no.
2 rescues.
Okay, even without the rescue thing, I wouldn't raid with you.
Yoshi P can obviously we all know that white mage's Lily mechanic is garbage, so please just give me this and have the Lily recast down affect rescue. That's all I want.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna get a in 4.1. We're gonna be like the ability for players to decline a rescue has been added, and it's gonna be called the Juxta Clause.
Yeah.
Oh,
that sounds accurate. So anyway, all right, let's continue on here past the ramen bowl.
Yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah, that's right.
There's our motley crew.
Yep. A lot. Well, there's a but.
But
here we go. We get to see this guy. Who is this guy? Do we know?
Hein or Heen, H-E-I-N or something.
yeah.
Heen.
very original samurai character. Do not steal.
Original character.
Yeah, like
Name's Mitsurugi.
Like
Remember it.
The thing is I mean, he's on a cliff.
Cue Auron's theme.
Looking out over a fucking plane, like
he's stoic and mysterious.
He is a pink robe away from being Rurouni Kenshin.
It really, that is painful.
Red hair.
Like, that's how close we are.
It really is. It really is.
Hey, some in the chat agree with me.
All of those fucking...
I don't know. That might be Yida, guys.
All of those fucking people who have been like, oh, the weebiness is not going to be a problem.
She's not hot enough to be Yida.
I hope
Come on.
I hope, this is what I hope, guys. I hope that we don't actually kill Xenos. He managed to get away somehow, but we think we kill him. He ditches all of his stuff, dyes his hair, and this is him accompanying us through all of Author to spy on us.
You know what? He is dedicated. That's how we can make a Nero hate him. He goes full on weeb
every time.
This is the whiny side of him. This is his Anakin line.
Honestly, like if they basically made Xenos Titus, that would get me to hate him.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd hate him.
basically Titus.
Titus meets Anakin.
Oh, Jesus.
Titakin.
Damn it.
He's a blitzball player that hates sand.
That makes sense, I guess. Where's the water?
This is, by the way, if you haven't, I know that a lot of people either watch this show, on live on Twitch or download the podcast and never actually go to limitbreakradio.com and see the
banner art.
Yeah, the banner art that we put up for every episode, because every episode has a unique banner. We also have them on YouTube as well. But Kahlo had actually done the banner for, what was it, the Weeb Revolution was what we called the name of the episode?
That was for the Stormblood benchmark trailer.
Which used this scene.
And I put all the different rage faces, all the different characters.
It actually, I thought it was legitimately one of the best banners that we've ever made. But I now love this scene for that.
Because you just imagine all the rage faces.
That's all I see. That's all I don't even see these guys' actual faces anymore. All I see is the fucking rage faces. All right, there's more weeby shit. Although, hang on,
okay, go back there for a second.
I want to go back here.
Yeah, go back.
I saw some cool stuff here.
Now, we've technically seen this before, but
Yes,
I
we
don't
have.
think we've ever really touched on the idea of there being like a full-on battle anywhere in Authard, have we?
No, we have. We didn't talk. Like, yes, we have talked about this setting before. This temple. I think at one point, doesn't it show this temple destroyed or underwater? Or, am I fucking?
My God, you're not.
Am I fucking
we were
crazy?
talking about how there was the ruins of that
Hold
tower.
up.
That is it, right?
This is it.
That is it, right? Like,
and we were
I'm
all
not
speculating
fucking.
maybe it was something left over from like the olden days.
Yeah.
That's definitely it.
Oh my gosh.
Or we lose a battle and it sinks.
Holy shit.
This just added actually a layer now that I'm really interested by, because the idea that you can have some kind of fucking setting that ends up getting destroyed and you lose access to through a narrative sense, I think that's very compelling.
No, there's never any proof we actually get to go into it in the first place. It's possible we come up to it, fight, and it's gone before we ever get into it.
Well, or this is a duty.
That's possible too.
saying that.
But I think, dude, I really think that it's much more interesting and inherently interesting if we got to go in it and then afterwards it was destroyed.
That would be cool.
It does look like something that if we were to be able to explore, like you see a platform up here up top with this big door. That may be our exit as the thing is sinking. There's a lot of. I think that this is a very cool. This presents some really interesting potential. I'd love to be able to find the screenshot of this place sunk, though, because I don't
remember it being sunk. It was just like really destroyed.
It was flooded. It was flooded.
Right. Where
and
you
the top
see
of it was all beat up.
Where you see all those rings right there was definitely water going into those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the concentric rings down below. And then another really interesting aspect of this shot that I didn't notice before is up here. What is this? This looks like some kind of bridge or twisted railing, something that's been destroyed. That's up here.
It looks like vines to me.
I think that looks like maybe it might even be a train track of some kind.
Oh, maybe.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's just vines.
At the top left, though, don't those look like leaves coming off?
I mean, it kind of does, but it is also blurry too, so it's kind of tough to exactly discern. I'm now actually pretty interested to
see what's going on here.
Yeah.
And this,
here we go. Well, actually, I feel like now we're running through it. If you look at this scene right here, I think this is that same temple.
It could be.
Yeah.
Because it kind of
maybe.
Is that a fire in front of that big building, or is that big building collapsing in the background?
I'm gonna have to see it in motion.
it's a fire.
I believe that's a fire, but let me.
it should be
Yeah, it's definitely fire.
There is something there does look like there is some kind of bomb or something that is falling during that scene.
Yeah.
Oh, on the left side, there's stuff falling off the roof.
Yes, that looks like either part of the building is collapsing over here, like that's either a spire or that looks like it could be a missile of some kind.
It looks like it just got hit with like a mortar or something, and it's like coming apart.
Very interesting. Yeah,
it's definitely a duty.
I definitely think that's some damage there. Yeah, you know what, Juxta? I think I agree. That this is looking more and more like a duty.
There's a crane over there.
That's
a Final Fantasy VI reference.
Crane?
Yeah, when you're trying to escape Vector,
yeah.
You're in the airship and the two cranes attack you
I
at the
remember
same
that
time.
fight.
And you have to use fire on one and lightning on the other. And if you use it the wrong way, then they get supercharged up.
So yeah, I think that this is definitely indication of a dungeon right here. Yeah, and then actually we see the actual damage happening.
This place is going down.
Yeah, I mean, even though it is a dungeon, it does look like there is a lot of narrative aspects. There's a lot of storytelling going on here. And again, you know, we did say that we want to feel like our decisions matter, like we have some kind of impact. And you know, yes, a checksum of where you are in the MSQ is a very easy way to take something from, you know what I mean, from one
different
state to the other. Yeah,
yep,
exactly.
Absolutely.
But small things like that, I think, do help with, with the immersion factor.
You know, it is fun when you later on, maybe you're watching someone stream and they pass by there and it's still in its original form because they haven't done it yet. And you're like, oh yeah, man, the olden days.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you know, it's not like we don't get any aspect of being able to make an imprint or impact on the world. It's just, it's been kind of not minimized, but it's been focused into two very specific aspects or areas of the game, which have been Mordona and Idleshire. That's it.
And those seem like they're happening irrelevant of us.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because those are people like the goblins were just building up Idleshire.
Right.
And
Exactly. Yeah.
Completed a new section every patch with or without us. Like if we weren't there, they would still be building that town. So
yeah, like if that like they could still implement it patch by patch, but have it be like you only get the next version of Idleshire once you've cleared that section of Alexander or something like that. Like
that's
something
not,
or the something MSQ. You do is
yeah.
or the MSQ. Something you do affects
that's
the next
not,
step.
That's
rather
not
than just a patch update. Yeah.
Right.
That's not a bad idea.
They should also put in a little mini game where, like, when they put the garden in the back of Idleshire, you have to help plant it and pick out the different, turn into like a little mini game.
That sounds very FF11-esque.
Involve the Mogs somehow.
Now it sounds very FF11-esque. Sorry.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be very interested to see what ends up happening in that dungeon right there.
Even though it's full of weebs.
Yeah, I'm now much more interested in it.
I like what Jumberry just said. Do it in reverse. Give us a whole town, and each patch, a new part gets destroyed.
I like this pause that I got of Lise here. She sort of, this is like stoner Lise.
Can I touch it?
Oh, now that's all I see, you asshole.
What? Can I touch it? There's a
Damn
giant.
it.
The warrior
There's a
of
giant
light's
dick
like, here's my
off-screen."
giant dong.
So huge.
Did you know that Heidelin picks her warriors of light based on penis size?
Kidding.
What about those of us that don't have one?
You're a femro. You got one. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
But other female characters.
We don't give a shit.
No, they all do. Have you played this game?
Oh, okay, that's true. There are no females online. They're all really males.
Move on from stoner Elise here. I really
She got like a little Qatar dagger thing on her other arm.
Dancer confirmed.
That's
secret dancer confirmed.
That's not monk-like.
They just look like they're gonna make out. They just look
After
like
she touches it.
Yeah, the dong.
Yeah. Like really, they just look like they're gonna make out super
Like they're
hard.
definitely not fighting through any kind of malice. Like they're sparring or something while they're trading for the rebellion. Something simple like
They're
that.
doing battle with their tonsils.
But I believe I requested the hand job.
Yes.
The way he's looking at her, he's like, I'm gonna tongue punch your shit box.
Wow.
Yeah. What? Whoa.
That's exactly what that look.
okay.
That's exactly what that look says.
I just opened my mouth and out it came.
They're not gonna do battle. They're gonna do butt battle.
Butt stunts.
Yeah, he has an interesting hairstyle going on there too.
I don't know. That hairstyle's dumb.
And then here's just a bunch of new abilities. And
Actually, hang on. There is a couple of things in here. Nika had pointed this out, and we just kind of summarily ignored it. But
Ixion confirmed.
Ixion right here. Got that lightning horse.
That was straight up Ixion. Yeah.
It looks like a Fate.
It does.
It's gonna be a Fate.
It does, and you know what? I think that's also kind of the disappointing thing when you see shit like this. You see that it's open world. You see that it's a big thing that you're fighting, and you go, "Yep, that's a Fate."
Do we think this might be like the Odin Coral of Stormblood?
Yeah,
could be.
Drops Harsh and Fought shield.
Yeah.
There were people saying that somehow there was a tease of an Ixion mount, so it's going to be more like you do a big Ixion Fate with a chance of getting the mount or something.
Well, that was like, isn't that what Odin's original Fate was like?
Barding.
Barding, yeah, that was a Barding. Sorry.
Yeah.
People are saying there's patch note rumors that have been flying around. They're not confirmed yet.
Yeah, we'll see about that. There's
someone in the chat also suggested that might have been Eureka.
Okay.
With Ixion in it.
Okay,
that could be too.
It did not look like. It looked like that zone was the other side of Baelsar's wall.
It did.
That's what that zone looked like. So if I had to guess, I think that's indicative of a Fate or a hunt.
I think it could be a Fate on the level of Odin.
Yeah, exactly. But isn't that fucking disappointing though? A Fate on the level of Odin.
I think there should
still
be
get an
one.
Odin instance later on.
Well, but I mean, we didn't get that for the Coral. We didn't get that for the. We didn't get that for the two Heavensward. Who did the fucking two Heavensward ones?
Not me.
No one.
I might have done the Coral
I've done
once
the
on
Coral
accident.
Regina one a few times. I have never ever caught the Ultima one.
If the Ultima one happened, I would do it. Like if I happened to be there when it was going, I would.
I've never seen it happen, but with the Coral Regina one, because there's so few reasons to go to Azaslaw. Like I was there for certain story things. I go there for the one dungeon and the Warring Triad, and I'm there for Relic.
I completely forgot Proto Ultima was a thing.
Yeah, I've never ever caught that Fate.
What does it even drop? Like, what's the point?
You get just like Coral Regina, you get tokens that you go and buy stuff. Right. I think you can get like those Ultima, you get horn things or something.
It's the Ultima horn. Dumb,
terrible,
dumb.
I don't know, I wanted them though, but I could never get them because that Fate doesn't exist.
Why? And that's the thing is, if it does fucking pop, nobody goes.
Because
or knows that it happened.
Because why? Because why?
People did Odin for a long
but the
time
thing
because
is,
they
back
wanted
in the
Barding.
day, though, back in the day, I always saw
Yep.
in link shells, people would tell us when Coral Regina was up. I never saw anyone say when Ultima was up.
Yeah, I remember I was in a Fate LS, and people would always say for Coral, but never for... Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw Coral Regina.
Well, Coral Regina drops a card, too, and...
Oh.
I don't know, so there's
the
more
card
reasons
reward.
to do it.
Yeah, no, I never saw an Ultima pop, only Coral.
What is this enemy here?
Juxta?
What is this?
Hold on, gotta get... Is it the little face thing?
It's the monster coming out of the water.
Is that FF?
That's FF8.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the little... I mean, obviously, it's like a little zombie. Oh, it's
Gargantua?
Not Gargantua, no.
He's a normal enemy. He's got
I think it's a normal enemy.
By the way, where in this scene, where is Kryl headed off to?
Looks like she's gone through one of the doors to Kingdom Hearts.
She's going back to her home planet now.
I mean, it looks very Allegan.
It does, actually.
If I had to guess. But
it's like she's being sealed away for some reason.
Yeah. What's going on there?
It's because she's a Lalafell, and Lalafell aren't allowed to be cool.
Well, I mean, if Stormblood is the attempt by the developers to purge the Lalafell menace, I'm okay with this.
That. Yeah.
No.
Finally. Yes.
No,
he'll be missed.
Kryl is unfortunately part of that menace, yeah. It looks like she's at least accepting her fate, though.
Yeah.
So.
She's like, I know I'm a Lalafell. This is for the best.
Yeah, here's this.
Yeah, that's
fucking creepy.
That's a normal monster from FF8.
Someone said Visage.
Yep. That's your game.
I know.
Why aren't you knowledgeable about it?
I thought Visage was the... It doesn't matter. Yeah, I did not know that.
Creepy, though. I mean, just
spooky looking.
In terms of the texturing on it, very creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And we see some red mage blowing up some Dullahan. Okay, all right, hold up.
Fuck
hold
was that?
up.
Was that Anubis?
Back up. All right, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about
Furry's
this.
confirmed.
Okay, there have been a lot of speculation about this. People saying that this could possibly be a new race,
Vieira,
a new beast,
That's a wolf.
a new beast tribe.
I know.
Wolf era.
I think it's probably just some type of like headgear. Isn't
Okay,
it?
now keep in mind that werewolves are canon in Final Fantasy V lore.
This is
Well, and there was some type of pre-production artwork for FF14 that had a race that was not dissimilar to this. Yeah. Now the thing is, though,
there was another.
But if you watch, I just keep playing that clip over and over. When he points the sword and faces forward, nothing like you think he'd be talking or saying onward. His mouth isn't moving. It's got to be a mask.
Okay, but no. See, I think there's another frame of this somewhere on the internet that has like the mouth open. So I think it's possible that it is actually like, you know,
it's a mask.
head.
It's a mask. There are people who are trying to pass this off as a new race. It's a fucking mask.
That's true.
Well,
The
wait.
texture sucks.
No, look at the one. I mean, are they wearing tails too? They all have tails on.
They're all furries.
Yeah, that's just their thing.
I don't know if if it does seem a little weird that they would wear masks and tails.
You
Look,
can't have
a bunch of fucking furgits, okay?
You can't have a weeaboo expansion without the furry element in it.
That's true.
Oh god, that's so right.
God damn.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
You're not totally off base there. But I mean, there have been a lot. I mean, I can even see the chat going back and forth about it now. There have been a lot of arguments whether this is supposed to be a beast tribe or whether this is supposed to be a new race. And I'm coming down on the side. This is a mask. It's a tribe of
weebs,
of furries.
Yeah, of furries, basically.
You fox-eared asshole!
That is such a good drop for this. That is accurate. Although I kind of. Maybe this is a little nitpicky on my part, but I feel like the texturing on the heads not very good.
Oh gosh, it's horrible.
Really,
That's why
looks
I thought it
really
was a mask
bad.
and not a face because it's all like solid.
You see, that just proves the point. Because you ever seen fucking furries in their stupid fursona costumes? They look fucking terrible.
That is true. All right, that's a good point.
True 1-to-1.
That's a good point. We see more move animations being shown off here. Seen a lot of these already. Badass scorpion looking thing. There's Pippin, and
good, Pippin's back.
Yeah.
Gonna get to see a little bit more of him.
I hope he dies.
And let's see, we
turn into a baked potato.
What if he gets stepped on?
I mean, we've also got Yagiri here, and one of the Wonder Twins. I'm not sure which one.
That's Alice.
Is it Alice?
Yeah.
You can tell because of the clothes.
Oh,
yeah. They actually wear different clothes now. Alice has the
unfortunately.
That's right.
Alice has the boring
shit
coat.
tan.
I can just not. I don't care enough. Like I just don't. I can't bother myself to care. Alize looks like she's getting taken down as well. I mean, that looks like blood.
Is that blood?
That looks like blood.
Is she dying? No, she's not because it's not running down her face.
Dude, I'm ready for this. Everyone's dying this patch. Everyone's going down or catching the plague.
Well, it's why they're all dying. They're killing off all the women.
Oh.
All the lesser of the genders are getting murdered off.
God.
Jesus.
You know, if Xenos
Waiting
does
on
go
Nika to
through
just jump in here
and like just
anytime.
systematically kills all of our allies, yeah, we might hit him a little bit after that.
All the
I don't
female
know.
ones, and then it just becomes a fucking boner fest.
Oh wait! Oh,
Sausage fest.
So you mean Xenos is actually going to make good on a narrative promise that was made to us fucking an entire expansion ago?
You geeks are so gullible.
Or are they all going to live somehow? They're going to teleport through the aether and come back again. Fuck this, man.
You get no goodwill, Square Enix.
But like the scene right before Alice goes, you see Yugiri looking really, really sad. She clearly is sad.
She's just looking. She's not looking anything.
So sad.
She's not
Every
looking.
time I see that, I'm like, oh my god, Yugiri, I want to give you a hug. What happened? Are you okay? Every time.
I bet.
Look at the sparkle in her eye and her sad, like droopy eyes in her mouth.
Oh my gosh.
She's not just looking.
If I had one wish for this expansion, this is what it is. That Emmerich and Yugiri got together, and this is her looking at a dying Emmerich.
Oh my
What? That is so out of left field.
Or his dick.
Or a dying Alice. Or Gosetsu.
Nobody would care.
Everyone's dying. Everyone is dying.
All of them die. Great.
Would it even matter if Gosetsu died?
No.
Nobody cares.
But
Nobody
the thing
cares
is that
enough
it went
about
for
it.
Yugiri's arc because they're friends. Or
We
something.
have Hien as a backup.
Yeah, we have another samurai. And then we have Xenos is a third tier samurai.
I just don't think she looks that sad. I don't know.
I don't know. Like her eyes are closed and she opens them and she clearly is looking at someone.
It's classic sparkly eye anime.
All right.
Yeah, like she's definitely and she's like smiles like, oh, I guess
I want
you'll
that
be okay. And then
flamethrower.
Flamethrower is
machinist,
a new machinist. Is a new machinist mechanic that can obviously be used for damage, but Yoshi says that it can also be used for expelling the heat gauge, not necessarily always.
What was that
damage.
red Fenrir looking thing?
Yeah, I'm slowing it down to be able to catch this because I think I just caught this for the first time. Let's slow this down to half speed. There we go. We've got we've got the flamethrower move, and now here we've got this boss. Fuck! I was one frame off. It's one frame off. We've got this boss here that looks like that's the chick that steps on her head, right?
Oh my gosh!
Right? Like that's her. That's fucking.
her.
That looks. It looks like her same hairstyle. It just looks like she's been Final Fantasy bossified.
huge.
Yeah, she's whipped open the robe now.
I hope they bring back Shiva's ult move from the Primal fight where she just steps on your head.
No, wasn't that from the one dungeon they did at the media tour? I think that was the second boss.
Is it?
Someone's saying Ruby Princess from
Ruby
She's
Princess.
Sweet.
That, What if she is that then?
You don't know. You don't know that she's not.
Yeah.
Why would they make her a second boss then?
That's true.
Yeah, she would be the final boss, wherever she's at, probably.
Is it under? Does that look like it's underwater? It doesn't look like it's.
No,
quite
I mean,
the whole. We do know that the whole dungeon is underwater.
Yeah,
It looks like it's in a dojo.
exactly.
Yes,
Not like it's
the
underwater.
whole thing is underwater. It's in one of those bubble domes.
Things, yeah.
Right. I mean, this scene right here, that doesn't look like it's underwater.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to because you're in a fucking bubble.
But you can still see outside, and it would still be like
you're
blue and shit.
inside.
There's still
What the fuck are you talking about?
There's still a certain fucking aesthetic to being under the water in a bubble, and outside we can see the fucking sunlight.
What?
No, he's saying, Cal,
What
he's
are
saying
you
you're
fucking
inside.
talking about?
You're inside a dojo, inside the bubble. There's no way to see the top of the bubble.
Those weren't windows in the background there.
Like
No.
it's like in any window in FF14 where you can't see through it.
Yeah, it's just going to be a fucking color.
It's yellow.
Okay,
You
I was
can't
gonna say,
see
it
out the
looked
goddamn
like
window.
You could.
What? I'm gonna. Okay, now.
so angry?
Yes, go back to
Now
it.
I'm
Fine,
going
prove-
back because
fine,
you're
prove me
fucking
wrong.
insane.
Whatever, fine.
You're out of your fucking mind.
I'm
I
also
don't know what
sitting
you're-
twice as far away from your little screen as you are. It is a split-second thing.
I don't know what you're babbling about. You're not making any fucking sense.
And you're sneezing all the time.
No, I've kind of stopped sneezing.
God damn, these fucking air conditioners are
Right?
loud.
I can actually.
That's all I can. That's all I can hear. Now you're gonna ask me to get.
No,
right
you don't
back
have
on
to
the
if you don't
fucking-
want to.
On the fucking. There's like three
No,
frames.
It was.
Look at that.
It's
That's
the,
not.
it's the paneling of
What
the
the
dojo.
what the Christ are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's no windows. There's
Yeah.
nothing. There's nothing in there.
Yes, that's
not
just
a
like a
single
paneling
thing.
painted
Japanese
thing. From
buildings.
where I'm sitting right here, it looks like windows outside.
What a totally
No, it's like
amazing,
painting on
excellent
a-
discovery.
Yes, when I got closer and looked at it, I see that now. Okay.
Jesus.
Bacon jam.
hell is wrong with you?
God, you guys treat me like I'm fucking Reddit here,
Even
man.
even if you could look outside from inside the dojo, what the fuck were you talking about? Like it doesn't look like it's underwater. Like you said
You
something
would see the
fucking
other
stupid.
buildings inside
Is
the
what it
bubble,
was.
but it
And
wouldn't
then you
look
got
like-
called out on it, and then you got defensive. So just look like a dummy.
Okay, I'm Juxta.
Okay, there you go.
Ha, idiot.
Bacon jam in the chat says you have AC, you lucky bastards. No, we don't.
We don't have AC.
Yeah.
We
Well,
sure don't. Not that
Well,
we can
we'll
run.
have it in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, we
30,
turn
40
it
minutes.
off so that you guys don't get the quality of podcast that other people have, where it's like.
Yeah, if we ran the AC, it would sound like we were trying to run a fucking lawnmower in here. All right, so here we go. We've got what's her nuts? What's her nuts looking mad? Being called Kinslayer.
Warrior
That's
thing,
probably
Dragoon
early.
thing.
Actually, I forgot to put this back on normal speed. We're gonna be here all day if we're watching this at half speed. There's that creepy head
That was
enemy.
a creepy head. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What is with SE? Like first it's the fucking dolls, now it's that thing.
All right.
Oh, you're talking about the brain pan?
That's Estinian.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Straight up. Hello, Estinian. What up?
The red lance wasn't a dead fucking giveaway, but now he gets new armor.
He
washed
finally
it.
cleaned it off.
Well, when he left, he wasn't even wearing armor. He just went off into.
Yeah, where the hell did he get it?
Right.
You just went to Idleyshire and bought it from the vendor.
He's been grinding tomestones, same as the rest of us.
He's got tomes for days.
Yeah.
Great.
Looks like it.
Whatever.
It does look the armor does look like a lot of the armor that came out of
It's the
Ishgard. Ishtar. It looks
He
very.
went and defeated
Ishtar-y.
Bahamut and got the Dreadworm armor.
I mean, I guess. Lots more explosions. Join the fight for freedom. Yeah, we get it.
Do we though?
I mean, doesn't matter.
There's Ian writing something.
And there's Lise, I don't know, being
a
Lise.
monk.
Getting ready to kick something.
Yeah. And then
what if Lise actually turns out to be Yida?
Oh my God! Stop.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
We're all Yida now.
Let's go back to our phone lines and talk to Artopher?
Arfi